we were lucky to have such a good group of women artists who actually held up Australian art during the period between the First and the Second World War. This was the period after the Bunny and Street and Roberts period, and before the Nolan and the period of Nolan and Boyd and Percival and Blackman. So during this period we have Margaret Preston, we have Grace Cossington Smith, and we have Bessie Davidson, who in my opinion is one of the most interesting artists of this period. During the First World War she was she studied at the Grand Chaumière, the academy there, and she also worked for the Red Cross, so she did some good works for the authorities. Later on, in fact, she was awarded by the French government, the French state, the Légion d'honneur, and she received numerous awards for the good works she had done. She wasn't only an artist, but she became politically and socially active, and her work, although it's very modest and in its disposition, belies the strength of character that Bessie Davidson had. And then in the interwar period, when her work came into its own, she became a very successful artist. She continued to work. Her work initially was based on post-impressionist principles, so we have Bonnard and Vuillard and Cézanne in particular are her mentors, and they remain her mentors throughout the rest of her professional life as a painter. And after the Second World War, she only ever returned back to her home in Adelaide on one more occasion in 1950. She died in 1965. Her paintings are comparatively rare. We don't see as many Bessie Davidsons as I'd like to see. They're beautiful paintings, and whenever we get a Bessie Davidson, I'm always excited because I value the quality of her work. It's beautifully made, and it's just really engaging. The painting we're handling in our present auction is dated to about 1935. We're not quite certain of its date, but one thing that's notable about the painting is its size. It's quite a large example of her work. Most of Bessie Davidson's paintings are quite small, so this is quite a substantial object, painted probably about 1935, and in style it's very typical of her work. It's an interior with very strongly Cézannist overtones. So the fact that Davidson had focused on Cézanne is something I've always admired. Cézanne is not an easy artist to understand and not an easy artist to like, and the fact that Davidson made Cézanne her focus speaks very highly for her. The painting in our auction is estimated at $100,000 to $140,000. It will be sold in our MENZIES 20th of March Melbourne sale. We look forward to seeing you at the auction.